Next up is Berkeley District Spotsylvania Supervisor Kevin Marshall, who's, as I mentioned at the beginning of the Zoom meeting, the vice chair of Lake Anna Advisory Committee. He's a legacy supervisor, and he has deep roots in this community. He does all things Lake Anna, and he is a very dedicated public service servant to the lake and the rest of Spotsylvania County, of course. So let's hear what Kevin has to say today.
Thank you, Chris. Hello to everybody. I'm Kevin Marshall, Spotsylvania County Board of Supervisors, the chairman, representing Berkeley District. I'll start off, as Chris mentioned, I'm the vice chair there with LAC, and I'll start off with hopefully some good news. It should be well received by the homeowners out at the lake. Spotsylvania County this week, we adopted our real estate tax rate. We adopted an equalized rate of 0.8094. So there was no tax increase for the folks throughout Spotsylvania County. And we also had the ability to reduce the personal property tax rate by 20 cents. And we also gave, we had the ability to do some cuts to some of our other taxes that affected businesses, not only around Lake Anna, but other parts of the county. Our machinery and tools rate went down to 190 per 100 of assessed value, and heavy duty equipment also went down to 155. Our board made these decisions, and we did this to try to help out not only the business community, but every citizen in Spotsylvania County as we move forward through this COVID-19 pandemic. As far as the lake goes, our lake continues to be a very popular place, especially in my district. Everybody seems to enjoy it. It's more and more boats out there every year. The fishing continues to get better. Chris, I think, can attest to that. I've been seeing some of his Facebook pictures. He's been tearing them up lately. And I'd be happy to take any questions anybody has about Spotsylvania or the lake.
We don't have any questions right now. We'll give it a couple more minutes. I do note that some of the subsequent speakers will be referring to a project or two that may or may not be coming to Spotsylvania. And we did get a question. I tell you what, I'm going to ask our administrative assistant to roll back to the top of the question list. Kevin, I want you to steel yourself. This is a question that I don't know whether you're going to stick with us for the subsequent speakers, but this came in for you. It says here, and I want you to understand that this is a question that you can answer any way you want. I'm just leaving it to you. Can we depend on your opposition to the Four Seasons RV Resort? This is an insane idea which would degrade Spotsylvania property values and break faith with Spotsylvania voters, taxpayers who came to Lake Anna specifically to avoid the high density development Four Season RV would be. We haven't even gotten to that subject yet, but I didn't know whether you're going to be on during that time or not, but this one is addressed specifically to you, and you can do with that with what you wish.
Yeah, with the Four Seasons, the RV part, we don't have a final generalized development plan here in the county yet for that. I know there's been several community meetings, and there's been a lot of opposition to this. I think the developer has instituted some changes to the project. I don't know if they'll be presenting those changes here today or not, but I'm not for or against any project until I have the actual project in front of me. Until I have a finalized, generalized development plan, I give every project in the county a fair shake. So until I've got all the facts and all the paperwork and what they're actually going to be presenting and wanting to build there, I don't make my mind up until I have everything in front of me.
Very good. Thank you for that. Lindsay has a question.
I have a question for you, and I can't type it in. So I had heard that there was potentially going to be restrictions on short-term rental properties in Spotsylvania. Can you speak to that?
Yes, we've had several complaints, myself and Supervisor Jett, from folks that live in different neighborhoods where there are short-term rentals. Those complaints range from anything from there being too many people in a house. Basically, concerns with environmental effects of that because the house will be perked for a 4-bedroom house for drain field capacity, and it's being advertised to sleep 16. There's been noise complaints and some complaints about the use of the common areas, as far as the common areas being left in disarray and some vandalism and trash being left around. We're looking into that in Spotsylvania County. By no means am I against the short-term rental business, but we do need to have a way to regulate it and know that they're there and make sure that they're abiding by the rules that are set forth. The short-term rental business in Spotsylvania County and in Louisa County as well, I've been looking into it. It's a big business. It's a lot of rentals out there. We've always been a business-friendly community, and we want to continue to be, but we do need to look at some type of regulation. I don't know what that regulation will be. As we are moving forward with rental, with the rental properties, since we're on that subject, we do have the refuse decal. Basically, if you want to take your trash to the dump, you have to be a Spotsylvania County resident and you have to have a sticker starting in May. I'd like to see a placard system for these rental homes. I don't want trash to be left, out in somebody's yard for animals to get into on the side of the road. I want to keep Spotsylvania as clean and as nice as we can. I actually mentioned it to our treasurer the other day, and as the policy is being written, I'm going to try to get that added if there's no opposition from other board members to let these rental homes have a placard that can be left in a home so they can use our landfill facility and we don't have to worry about a lot of trash on the side of a roadway.
Okay, that answers one of the questions that came in from Robin. Go ahead and scroll back just a second, Ann, so I can see the other question. So Randy has asked, Louisa committed $15 million for a fiber network to the home project to have internet available to all citizens of Louisa. Has Spotsylvania having had discussions at any level to do the same for yours in the Livingston district, which would be the 2 lake districts?
Actually, we just had we called it a cord cutting, but it was a ribbon cutting for Data Stream. Data Stream is not a fiber network, but they are an internet provider for rural internet services. The map is available on our website through the county now. If you look at the map, I think the citizens of Berkeley and Lewiston are going to be pleasantly surprised at the coverage area that we'll have. My district alone, I'll be able to cover about 80% of our rural area. And it's going to include majority, if not all, of the lake. They have this is a microwave technology internet service, but it's at a 5G service. So not only we're going to definitely have it. We're going to have not just have internet, but we're going to have good internet. We're going to have good broadband coverage throughout the rural area. We just started. They put they put their equipment on a tower that was owned by the county out at the Wilderness, behind Fire Rescue Station 7. That's the beginning of their build out. It's probably going to take them about 2.5 years to build this out, but it's the quickest, best solution that we could find as of now to get rural internet to everyone in Spotsylvania, especially my district and Livingston district. We need it. I made the comment to the newspaper. It was in the article they wrote. I think that the internet and broadband capability should be treated as a utility, the same as electricity and sewer and water that are provided in our urban areas. We're in a situation now that our kids can't get their education without it. That's a huge problem. So we're doing everything we can to get it here.
Okay, next question. Thank you for that answer. And this has been asked of me a couple of times here recently. There's evidently a revised county comprehensive plan in the works for Spotsylvania County. And the question is, can you give us an update on the revised comp plan that is being processed? I know the developers are looking at it fairly closely because I think it changes the minimum lot size for a home or something along those lines are changing and potentially changing. They're concerning to some people.
Right. Yeah, the comp plan is being revised. It's still in the process of the revision. I would take up all your time and we would have to go through it page by page, and it's a very large document. But the intent of the comp plan is we're going to try to, as it is now in this revision, as long as it hasn't been approved yet, but the revision intent is to extend some of basically our business district, to lack of, Now, I don't want to have to go into every individual zoning code, but make it more productive and business friendly along the Route 1 and I-95 corridor, and still preserve the rural nature that we have in Berkeley and Lewiston district. It should be minimal changes in our area around Lake Anna.
The person who posed the question has specifically asked, what about a Lake Anna mixed use change?
The Lake Anna mixed use change.
Says there's something in the comprehensive plan that could change, I guess, the zoning or the interpretation of mixed use at Lake Anna.
That's the area right there before you cross over the 208 bridge. It has that mixed use zoning. That it's in the comp plan as mixed use. That area was designated years ago as a technology zone as well, which makes little to no sense for that to be a technology zone. There's no fiber in the ground there, and there's no public utilities. So it's hard to bring any technology-based business into there. I think that is being looked at and being reworked. Right now, as far as any public utility coming to Lake Anna areas, it's not going to happen. It's too expensive, and it's a very long ways away from our water and sewer treatment plants. The changes that they're going to make to that, I know the mixed use zoning throughout Spotsylvania County is going to break down into tiers, and without having it in front of me, I don't know what tier that would be put in. But there will be a low level mixed zoning, a mid grade, and then a high level as far as capacity within those mixed use zonings.
Okay, I think this will probably be the last question for you, Supervisor Marshall. It says here, what will it take to get the litter picked up on 601 Lewiston Road?
All you got to do is give me a phone call with an address and area, and I'll take care of calling VDOT or getting county personnel out there to do it. That's a problem we've got throughout. And our VDOT report was given Tuesday night. Kyle Bates from the Highway Department came and spoke, and he said the worst thing you can do is put up a do not litter sign because they fill it full of bullet holes and they throw trash at it. And it's several areas in the county that we're having issues with litter on the road, and I'll be happy to take that and get some folks out there to pick the trash up. It's not only on Lewiston, it's a lot of other places. I get a call about once a week, and we do have the capabilities of getting it cleaned up, and I'll take care of it.
Hey, before you go, do you want to give us your email address that someone could use to reach you?
Yeah, my email address is kmarshall@spotsylvania.va.us.
Thank you, Supervisor Marshall. I appreciate the opportunity to have you at this virtual summit and answering of all the questions, some of which were a little tricky. So thank you again.
No problem.